Hello, good evening. Valentina, take over.
Shit. Good evening. How am I able to see those that are live?
See viewing now, can't you see? This eye close to the
Viewing.
live.
That's the one that is where?
This eye here, can you see it or is it just me that can see?
I think you're the only one. Because I can't see
Somebody's
any.
live. Hello, just start talking.
Hi, good evening. Welcome.
Hi, good evening. If you're just joining us, welcome.
Hello. Are you coming from Udabara side? Are you coming from?
Hi, good evening. Welcome to today's webinar. If you are just joining us, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this webinar. Hello, good evening, and welcome to today's webinar. Hello, good evening, and welcome to today's webinar. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hello, good evening, and welcome to today's webinar. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, and follow, and like. We'll be starting the webinar soon, so please don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends about the webinar. Hello, good evening, and welcome to today's webinar. Please don't forget to subscribe, share to your friends, and like this YouTube channel as we'll soon be starting. It's 7 o'clock. Can everybody hear me? Please, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can. Just go on.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I welcome you all to today's webinar, part sponsored by the Medical Vanguard team in collaboration with NIMSA SCORE Gombe State University MSA. And the title of today's webinar is Building a Career in Research. Please, for 1 minute, I would like each and every one of us to have a silent prayer in our minds before we start. May all our prayers be answered through Christ our Lord. Amen. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Valentina Kanuba, a medical student of Eko University, and I'll be your moderator for today. Without wasting much of your time, I would like to introduce the founder of the Medical Vanguard, Ms. Jonas Emanuela, to give us an opening remark. Ms. Emanuela.
Hello. Hello. Good evening. Good afternoon. Okay. Good evening, and thank you for attending this webinar. Thank you. Please comment your name and the MSA you're from in the comments. Let's see you active. If you are here, please comment your name. All right. So with the increasing marginalization of the health sector, of doctors in the health sector, of course, late payments of salaries, reduced cost of living, security risks, and so on that has been going on in the health sector, it is extremely necessary that every doctor be better adapted by way of financial knowledge and application of the skills learned. And so that is why the Medical Vanguard came to be. This platform is to expose students and upcoming generation of doctors to career choices in medicine. This exposure started with the From Medicine to Millions webinar that held while I was in office as the Director of Finance, NIMSA Standing Committee on Capacity Building, and now we'll be having the first of its maiden edition of its webinar series titled Building a Career in Research. And so I welcome you all to this webinar as it promises to be enlightening and educative. We will at one point or another learn research writing either through the Nigerian Medical Students Association, which is the research part of it, the Standing Committee on Research Exchange, or in our final year, we'll learn it to write our project. But what about its real life application? Why are we even learning it? And so I implore you to stay tuned, relax, and enjoy as we proceed with this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Emanuela, for that enlightening speech. Please, can you all give her a virtual applaud in the comment and the chat? Without taking too much of your time, we would like to introduce our speaker. Our speaker is a public health physician with the National Tuberculosis and Leprosy Control Program (NTBLCP), serving as the Southeast Regional Medical Officer. He is also an honorary consultant and lecturer at Abia State University. He is a graduate of the University of Benin, a fellow of the Western African College of Physicians, and holds a master's degree from the University of Leeds. He has additional training from the Institution of Tropical Medicine and Executive Education from Harvard University and Lagos Business School. He has worked extensively in HIV and TB control, including with the CDC Global AIDS Program and as former Abia State Program Manager for the Global Fund. He will be speaking on us. He will be speaking to us on the medical research capacity building among medical students and career pathways in research and public health. Please join me to welcome Dr. George Ikpe, public health physician, NTBLCP, Southeast Regional Medical Officer. Dr. George.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening,
Confirm if you
sir.
can hear. Yes, confirm if you
Good
can
evening,
hear
sir.
me. Oh, great, thank you. Okay,
We can hear you,
it's
sir.
great, thank you. It's a pleasure anytime I'm called up to talk to students, especially medical students, because at one point in my life, I was a medical student for more than about 22 or 23 years ago. So anytime I'm called up to talk to medical students, it's a pleasure. So I want to first of all start by thanking the organizers of this event for deeming me worthy to come and talk to us about building a career in research. And I want to start on this note that one thing you must know about life, as I'm paraphrasing Isaac Newton now, and some other people who have mentioned that how far you're able to go in life depends very much on a lot of factors, which includes you standing on the shoulders of those gone who have gone far. So, on this note, I would please, if you give me the permission to share my screen. Can I share my screen? Is it possible? Hello? Can I share my screen?
Yes, sir, I think you can.
Yes, I think.
Okay. Okay. Let me look for it. Just a minute.
That was the share screen.
Yeah. Just a few minutes. Yeah. Okay. So, can you see my screen now? Confirm, please. Can you confirm? Confirm if you
Yes,
can see my
yes,
screen.
you
Oh,
can see your screen, sir.
great, great. So, I have very few objectives, and I intend that by the end of this session, with the number of time I'm going to use, I think that the students or the people that I'll be talking to will be able to define what medical research is all about and its key types, explain the importance of research in medical training and practice, identify major career pathways in medical research, as well as recognize opportunities for early involvement as it pertains to research. So, in many developed societies or climes that I've visited, most policies with regards to health is built on sound research. And Nigeria, it's tilting towards that, but we are many a times as a country we tend to believe so much in superstitious beliefs, and so because of that, it's tend to kind of hinder, let's say, hinder research in this part of the world. So research hasn't really gone inroad in this part of the world because of the views of our people. Even some of those who are educated, many of them do not believe in research. And coming down to medical practice with regards to human health, the still superstitious beliefs still, still a big concern, even amongst those who are educated. So we'll be, for my presentation, we'll be looking at, I'll be introducing what medical research is, also look at the overview of research in medicine in terms of this definition, types, scope, why research is very important for students and future doctors, just like you are, and career pathways in research the, in various fields such as the academia, those who are in the pharmaceutical industry, clinical trials, global health industry, success stories. I'll give you some success stories towards the end. So with by way of introduction, medical research is just all about investigation, trying to investigate, which is aimed at developing, contributing to medical knowledge geared at improving health outcomes for human beings and for our society. And why is medical research important? It's very important because there are a lot of things we do not know with regards to human health. And so, in recent times, we began to practice what we call evidence-based medicine. And so many of the treatments we use with regards to drugs, with regards to vaccines, regards to treatments, even surgery is all evolving. You bear me witness that even before now, about 20, 30 years ago in this part of the world, laparoscope surgeries were not that common. And so with research, a whole lot of things began to, you know, evolve. And like we all know too, medicine, it's evolving. So new knowledge, new skills, which are all geared towards improving outcomes and the way we, treat, and at the end, outcomes. So, and all these things are all products of research. And so the main goals for research is to advance understanding of diseases, improve diagnostics, treatment, and preventive strategies, as well as enhance patient care, as well as population health with regards to public health or preventive medicine. So, and the components of research, well, for my students in the university, there I've always said this, that you can't start a research without first of all formulating a research question, having a question in mind. And before you have a question in mind, it's usually preceded by you being very curious or thinking, how can I, what is the reason for this? Why is this happening? And this usually how a research, starts. If it's a scientist, I believe all the people I'm talking to, the medical students here, all of us are all scientists. So scientists are very curious, they are very adventurous. Why are things the way they are? Can we improve? Why are things occurring this way? So I remember the first time during my master's program, we did a course we call critical thinking, which were one of the foundations of public health. So critical thinking usually is very curious topic. Why are things the way they are? Are we together? Hello, please, if you can hear me, just give me, if you can hear me, just give me thumbs up. Why are things the way they are?
We can hear you, sir.
Oh, great. So it usually starts with formulating a research question, designing a study. Where after the question, you design a study depending on the type of research that you would want to carry out. And it also includes collecting, analyzing, and interpreting data. Because without data, collecting data, research is not research. As we'll find out in the other parts of this presentation. Then you also need to publish and share your findings, as it were. So please don't I need to put this thing in slide presentation, but I forgot. So overview, looking at the overview of research in medicine, there are types of research. So research can be basic laboratory research, which looks at studies involving cells and molecular mechanisms at the biochemical or physiological level. It also can also be clinical research, which looks at drugs, interventions, patient outcomes. So we can also have what we call translational research. A lot of organizations use this so much, translational research, and another name for translational research in public health program space is known as implementation research. WHO uses this so much, and some other organizations like UN, United Nations. You can also have epidemiological research, and for epidemiological research, you have it can be broadly divided into observational research as well as interventional or experimental. And for observational research, you don't do anything, you just observe. And there are different types. You can have analytic, you can also have a descriptive. For experimental research, I'm sure many of us, we may have heard about it. We may have heard about what we call randomized control trials, as well as quasi-experimental studies. They're all interventional. Research can also be quantitative or qualitative. Researches can also be what we call operational research. Operational research is usually conducted or carried out anytime you are in a program and you feel or you want to find out more on how to improve that program or how to improve processes, so you can quickly carry out what we call operational research. And I can tell you for a fact that even the ongoing war, let me just digress a little bit, even the ongoing war between Israel, Iran, United States, and so many other places, the military, they do what we call operational research in trying to improve, in order to improve the way the war is being fought. So you can also have health services or public health research, which tries to optimize healthcare delivery, as well as looking at scope and impact. You can have research that looks at global collaborations. You can have multi-center or multi-country research, and have data research that looks at what we call big data, as well as AI applications. And currently, there is this research currently in the field of medicine. Is an evolving one, although other countries have, apart from Nigeria, have made a lot of progress looking at genomics. In the field of tuberculosis, we are using what we They are now using what we call whole genome WGS, whole genome sequencing, as well as TNGS, targeted next generation sequencing, to help in treating drug resistant tuberculosis. So it's an emerging area currently. So, why is research important for medical students as well as future doctors like you people? I usually advise my students and junior colleagues, it's usually very important to start early. Those days in our those days in my during my residency training program, people, some of the students who we were able to mentor them, many of them have, gone ahead to excel in their various fields of specialty. And let me just put a caveat here: research is not just for those who are in public health. Other fields, depending on the field that you want to go into, be it pediatrics, be it surgery, obstetrics and gynecology, internal medicine, family medicine, no matter the area, you cannot run away from research if you really want to affect your world and if you want to go far when it comes to medical practice. You know, also want to tell you that a lot of like diseases like HIV and AIDS, in the year 1981, some group of doctors who were, started seeing people coming down with something that looked rare, with regards to their immune system. And so they now started writing what we call the type of research called case reports, case series reports. And because of that, that led to people doing a lot of work in that area. So why does it matter for medical students and future doctors like you have asked this question? One, critical thinking and problem solving. A good medical scientist, just like you people, it's usually very important. It helps you to develop your analytical skills and help you to think independently. It also helps you to find out. It's not, medicine is not sometimes when I'm consulting in the clinic, I tell my patients that it's not, you did not see any red cloth, or if you come into my consulting room, I don't need to start breaking eggs and, speaking to the wind for them to give me answers to the patient's problem. It's usually very scientific and it helps you to think. So if you start early as a medical student and start thinking, it will help you. It's also, like I've mentioned before, what we do now in medicine is evidence based. Why do you want to um why are we no longer, it's not as if we are not using ampiclox anymore, but we can use ampiclox to treat tuberculosis. Why? Because of what we call production of beta lactamase by the organism. And so if you use ampiclox, it will not work. So evidence-based. Professional growth. When you start early as a medical student and you start, writing papers, before you graduate, you can have up to 10, 15 papers. And before you know it, because I want to tell you, any paper you publish counts for you anywhere. And whether you published it as a student, it counts for you. And so if you want to go into the academia, as we'll see later, if you want to, in any field of endeavor, that paper will always count for you, and it will help you to grow in your own area of specialization. And so it enhances academic profiles for residencies and fellowships. It's also very good for innovation and leadership. You find out we said readers are leaders. I tell my students, leaders are usually readers, or leaders are readers. So it encourages curiosity and innovation in the healthcare space, as well as networking. Some of my, there's this course which I went to do in Belgium sometime about 2 years ago. And I have a lot of colleagues both within the African region, West African sub-region, and Europe. And so there are some things, um, there are some things sometimes I may not really understand, and I will call on them. The same thing the same thing on my own part. They call on me to, you know, help, answer some questions in their different fields, as it were. I'll give you and or not just that too. There is this course which I just registered with McGill University in Canada. Though it's online. It was just because of the type of network, the people whom I was able to attend that course with. They just sent it to us, shared with me about how I can, speak to some people in that university. I think a professor who helped to waive huge sums of money so I can have that training online. Finally, though not the least, it helps to help you to contribute to society, as it were. Leads when there are some things you would do now with regards to research that would help you to your name your name, as it were, will not live, will outlive you, so to speak. There's this during the COVID pandemic. I think I learned it was a Nigerian who actually, there are some studies he did on with either RNA or whatever that helped Pfizer to develop their vaccine. So for career pathways in research, as it were, I've said this earlier, you can be an academic person. If you decide to stay back in Nigeria or overseas, you can go on to do your MSc and PhD, and to help you to teach as well as continue conducting research, both in universities or in medical school. It can help you to become a lecturer, principal investigator, as well as a research fellow. It can also help you. A lot of people say, okay, there is no money in research, just research. But, if you're a researcher, you can seek funding from grants. There are a lot of grants. They are not in as much as they're not common in this part of the world. But overseas, you can write to CDC, write to Wellcome Trust, write to a whole lot of grant making organizations, and they can, if you're able to, scientifically defend what you want to carry out, you find out that you'll be supported with grants. So you can also go into clinical trials, working with the pharmaceutical industries, helping them to design and manage trials. Like I said, that every day, even today as we speak, tomorrow, as long as there'll be humanity, there'll be new drugs, new innovations, new interventions, as it were, all geared towards making life better for human beings, thereby improving outcomes. And also have research, global health research, involving health system policy and health systems in not just in low and middle income countries, even in high income countries. Can also collaborate with WHO, NGOs, and other government health bodies like NTBLCP, like even the malaria program, even the HIV program in Nigeria. You can if you're able to develop your abstract, have a good sound abstract, and get it across to the national coordinator of these agencies, they will be able to, if they can give you what we call help you get ethical clearance, depending on the type of research you want to carry out. So, as a medical student, it's very, 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 very important to join a research team early. So you are in your medical journey as a student. I usually advise students start early. Attend workshops. One of these, this is one of them. Workshop on research methodology and statistics. You know, it's if you can start building your skills, because carrying out the research is a skill. You can start building your skill on time. You find out that 2, 3 years after you might have graduated, you find out that you may have published a lot of papers. You can also go for attend conferences, and WHO and so many other agencies. They a lot of agencies that give waiver to students that want to attend conferences and even make presentations. I think the Nigerian Medical Association, I think that it should be in Abia State, because I was the chairman. I'm the chairman of the Research Scientific Sessions Committee. So I sat down with my team, and we we gave we told students if they want to make any research, they can present during the Nigerian Medical Association Scientific Conference, that they can present. I think a student, I've forgotten her name, made a presentation. That was last year August, last year October. So also starting early helps you to pursue research electives and intercalated degrees, though that's not common in this part of the world. So by way of conclusion, um, research is integral. Stay curious. As a researcher, you must be very curious. Events happening around you. You build your skills in inquiry, collaboration, and communication. And your contributions as a student researcher can create a lasting impact in global health. So, at this very juncture, let me just stop and wait for, if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'll be more than happy to answer any question. And once again, thank you so much for having me. Over. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir, we can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Valentina, please take over.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That was very, very enlightening. And let's not forget that research is not just for public health people that want to go into public health. It's for other
Yeah,
fields as well. And you
yeah,
can seek grants from any NGO, WHO. So don't think that funding is the problem. You can seek grants. And as medical students, we should try our best to also try to be in all these research programs so that we can be able to contribute to the society, we can be able to network, and we can have professional growth and evidence-based projects. Thank you so much, sir. I just asked a question to ask. I don't know if you said it before, but I wanted to ask that how can someone go about in research programs like that is not in public health? Like, how can you go about it?
research. How can you go about a program that is not a research program that is
Like,
not in public health? What?
how can you go about how can you go about a research, like what research can someone do if you are not doing public health? Let's say you are doing pediatrics or something, like, well, how can someone go about it? Like, what are the ways
Yeah,
a person can go about a research?
yeah. Thank you for the question. So first of all, that depends on the type of research you want to carry out. Is it an observational study? When we say research is study. Is it an observational study? Is it an interventional study? And could it be you want to carry out a systematic study with meta-analysis? So it all depends on how you want to carry it out. And like I mentioned at the beginning, research is systematic, it's methodological. There is a method you use. First of all, you've noticed something. Like I said, it's not just public health. Each research, has a method. Is it a quantitative type of study? Is it a qualitative type of study? You know, so but be it as it may, it starts with a question. Why, for example, why are children? You said pediatrics. Why are we having adverse events following immunization, for instance, in children, following a particular vaccine? You can decide to find out, you know, and by that, you would want to find out children who have documented evidence in their folders, who may have reacted to a particular vaccine, and you want to investigate. And so when you gather your data, you first of all think of, how am I going to get these children? In which places, which immunization centers, or which hospitals where they give children vaccine do I have to go and get those records? So when you must have sorted it out in your mind, then you go to those places, look inside their records, get your data, and like I said, depending on the type of study or research you want to carry out, once you lay your hand on your data, you'll be able to publish or write and publish, as it were. I don't know if what I've just said made any sense, but if you really don't understand, please let me know. I'll speak further.
Okay, I think I get your question. I think I get your answer.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
So we have a question from Abraham. He said, how can we go about obtaining research grants as early career researchers?
Okay. Like I said, it depends on, first of all, the type of research you want to carry out. And for example, for HIV, International AIDS Society (IAS), I don't know if they've started calling for requests for proposals, requests for abstract, and they give a lot of waiver. They will um, they will give it to you. They would if they accept your proposal, if they look at it, and if it is scientifically and methodologically sound, they would sponsor you. I think there's as little as they can give you a grant of $5,000, $10,000. I think the highest, so for 2 years ago, they were giving up to $50,000, depending on the type of research you want to engage, or sorry, to carry out. So one of them is International AIDS Society. The other one is also CDC. And there's this organization, Red Aid, currently. Red Aid, former, we call them German leprosy. Red Aid, I don't know if you may have heard about them. They are giving, if you want to carry out any research in leprosy, you can write to them. They will look at it and they would support you, as it were. So a lot of organizations are ready to support research, and that's what people are. Many organizations are looking at those who are able to write research, and even some MSc programs overseas. If you are done with your medical education, you want to jump into doing your master's programs. They have a lot of scholarships, for people who want to come overseas to, carry out one research or the other. I have a colleague. She just got a place in a University of Antwerp, in the Institute of Tropical Medicine, Antwerp. She wants to do a research with regards to drug-resistant tuberculosis. There is a drug we use currently, a diarequinolone, known as bedaquiline, and we are beginning to notice a lot of. We are beginning to notice that the resistance is increasing. So she wants to look at there's what we call the efflux pump with regards to how the tuberculosis develops resistance to that particular medication. So you can write a lot of, if you can, I can send you some of the link. Okay, you guys are still students, so but I have a lot of those links overseas that I can give you. You can, I think some of them are still on. You just need to write, put up a sound, um, uh, is it abstract now, or proposal, and this is what you want to carry out. And they are more than ready, more than happy to support you. Over. Any more questions?
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, sir. So I wanted to ask, this pathway, do you think is promising compared to the clinical aspect of medicine, like adopting research as a career? Do you think it's promising for Nigerians now? Then what are the
Um,
challenges you have faced being a Nigerian? You know, you went abroad and you see how your counterparts are with the research industry. So what are the challenges you faced so far being a researcher?
okay. Thank you for that question. Okay. Being a researcher in this part of the world, has its own challenges. Like I said before, research is in recent times have started becoming popular this part of the world. But in developed societies, if you're a researcher, you are respected and you are paid very well. And there are a lot of ongoing researches everywhere. But in this part of the world, it's not that easy. And we don't have so many grants. I've said this before. You don't have many organizations giving you grants to, carry out research. But many of these organizations, they have interest, to carry out research in Africa, in Nigeria. And so if you decide to go into that field, I can tell you the truth, it's very rewarding and it pays. It pays. And please, I want to correct this impression that you are in clinical medicine doesn't stop you from being a researcher. Please, I want you to know this. Being in clinical medicine does not in any way stop you from being a researcher. Please, we have a lot of people who are surgeons, who are pediatricians, who are physicians, family physicians. They're all researchers. So, like I say, it's not exclusive for people who are in public health alone, but it's just that you have to have a good grasp of public health, which gives you inroad to knowing how to carry out research in general. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, I have. I
Thank you.
have. Thank
Yeah,
you very much, sir. Thank you
thank you.
very much for honoring our invitation. I'm sure everyone here has a thing or two, an idea about how life is outside there with the research industry, in the research industry. Thank you very much, sir. I
Thank
would
you.
later on actually ask for the links you said you wanted to send. You are students, but some of us will soon graduate.
Yeah,
So we need the link so that I can also share, because we have a group chat. I can share it to um medical students across. There may
Okay,
be ones that are interested, especially those in the West. I believe they are kind of ahead of people in the East when it comes to research. I noticed that.
people. It depends on what one actually wants to do with his or her life and with his or her time. Well, but it's what you are saying is the truth that people in the western part of the country, are they're much more into research than people in the south, or rather people in the east or southeast. But if we, if you can, it depends on a lot of things. Determination, where you want to go, where you want to be in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years. Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself here? Do you see yourself overseas? Do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in which field? So, and the watchword or the goal is, start early. If you can start early, it will help you, so that by the time you may have graduated, you find out that you have a lot of papers to your name, to your credit, even as a co-author, to help. I remember when we were as resident doctors, there was this my friend that later joined UNICEF. So there's this study he co-authored with one of our consultants. So, and it was actually that study that gave him a inroad. So, so it depends.
Okay, sir. So somebody asked the question. Somebody asked, yes, that's this is, I don't know if it's a girl or a guy. This is her shooting her shot. That she's interested in research and she's your student. Is there an available mentorship support?
Well, why not? I said something at the beginning. I said, um, someone said that I was able to go far in life because I stood on the shoulders of those who have gone far ahead. So we are talking about mentorship. Mentorship, it's very, 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 very good. So when I was starting, I had people who I looked up to. I had people who I had people who I told myself I wanted to be like them, and I was looking at the things they were doing. You know, most sometimes too, I call on them. And as a resident doctor, many years ago, there was this student of mine who too came and told me that he wanted to do public health. I said, why not? And he was always coming to me, and before you know it, he has already gotten a place in he went to Hebrew University, Jerusalem. That was where he did his masters. He did masters there. Then later came back, went to United States where he did a fellowship with one of these Ivy League universities, either Yale or so. And so he's doing very well. And it's not just one person. There's so many of them. I have people who, depending. And one thing I will just have to say is that depending on what you want to do, how you want to go about it, and the next maybe 5 years, 10 years of your life, where do you see yourself? So it's not just to say, oh, I want to be mentored. Is this really, really what you want to do? If it's what you want to do, then why not? My phone lines are available. Over.
Okay, sir. Then there
Yeah.
is the last question, I believe, for today.
Hmm.
Aisha asked, what practical steps can I take right now to start building a career in research?
The best thing, the first thing is to, I don't know where the at what level of if the person is a final year, so the person should be thinking of doing their project or dissertation. Then understand research very well. Understand the methods. We have a course we call research methodology. Understand the methods. Understand the skills. So and for now, I know that in this overseas, people in first degree, they've already gone ahead to. A lot of them are already doing systematic review with meta-analysis. A lot of them are doing qualitative studies and publishing, doing systematic review, meta-analysis, and rest of them. So understand understand first of all the type of research you want. Is it a normal snapshot or cross-sectional study that you want to do? Though you would have to start from somewhere and get your name in the publication list. Start from somewhere, identify a problem. Once you identify a problem, you think about it. And once you think about it, you know, then find out how the type of research that may be. Is it, if you, would you want to carry out an analytic study? Would you want to carry out a cohort study? Would you want to carry out ecological study? Depending, whatever you want to do, just first of all, identify the type of research. Then you, if you need help, you can always call on us or call on me. I would help help you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you very, very much. Please,
Thank you.
people should drop your applause, clap in the comments. Thank you very much. It's not easy to leave your busy schedule or schedule and attend to, attend to us as medical students. We are still growing, so we appreciate your efforts, sir, and we pray God to bless you. Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure. And I
much.
would want to encourage you to please keep up what you are doing. This is how it starts. You get curious. This is how it starts. You start envisioning your future, because don't let the future catch up with you. You know, before you may have graduated, you tell yourself, this is where I want to be. In the next, I had a mentor who used to tell me that a future you cannot picture, you may not feature there. So you first of all picture it in your mind. In the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, this is where I want to be with regards to my career. And you start asking questions, start working towards it, start making efforts. And before you know it, you are there when you look back. So I think these are my parting words to you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
Wish
sir.
you the
Thank
best.
you. The
All the
future
best.
you cannot picture, you cannot feature there. I'll use this one to go. Thank you, sir. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much. All the best. Good night, everybody.
Good night, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right. So thank you, the Medical Vanguard, in collaboration with the Nigerian Medical Students Association, Standing Committee on Research Exchange, Gombe State University Medical State Students Association, is thanking you for attending this webinar, and we'll be hosting the day 2 tomorrow. So thank you very much. We have two speakers. One, the president of a research club, is a student like us and has gone really far. So you should want to attend the webinar tomorrow. It will be really insightful, as a student like you would be educating us on research. So thank you very much for attending. Good night, everybody. Bye.